This is a sound that folks are always asking me about. They always say McCoy Tyner.
Yeah.
You know, what is that fourth kind of thing? And these voices, there's a pattern to them, right?
What's the pattern?
Okay, well, let's start with that. Little thing called So What? You familiar with that? So you already know the first two, right? So we've got this is D minor, right?
Yeah.
So we have all fourths, perfect fourths.
Yeah.
So D, G, C, F, and then a major third on top.
Yeah.
But I always like to think about this as a triad, as 2-3. So we got 2 notes in the left hand, although you could certainly put 3 notes in the left hand,
yeah,
right?
that doesn't matter as much.
But I like putting 3 in the right hand because then I'm thinking about the triadic movement, right?
Oh, that's a good point. So with this voicing here, you got D, G, C, F, and then that third A.
Yeah.
Meaning that you've got the top 3 notes there are like an F major triad.
Exactly. And it's just a different, a second inversion of the triad. You can always move that around. And so it's the root, the fourth, dominant seventh, minor third, and the fifth. Those are the scale degrees. And then the next one, you just move it all up a whole step.
A whole step.
Right.
Well, you moved it up a half step first.
Well, I got a little fancy. That's a little foreshadowing to where we're going to go. That's where the fun comes in, right? The basic,
We're having
the
fun.
basic 5-note voicing, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of them, right? But everything in between, that's where the fun comes. Okay, so that's the first 2. Look, we've already learned 2.
Yeah.
We're really moving along. And so again, this is all perfect fourths with a major third on top between the G and the B. And now you have a G triad on top.
It's the same as the first voicing, just up a whole step.
Right. And then see, a lot of people for the next one, they make the mistake of going here. And that's okay.
Oh, you just moved it all up white keys?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went up diatonically, right? But wouldn't you rather?
Oh, with a D on top there?
D on top,
Yeah.
right. So everything else is moving diatonically. Diatonically in the key of D minor, Dorian, is just a fancy way of saying all white keys, basically.
Yeah.
It's just you're moving up the scale. So that's straight diatonic
So, okay, hold on.
movement.
Let me see if I got this. So
Yes.
that voicing then is all just fourths?
All fourths, but not all perfect.
So F to B is a diminished fifth. It's an augmented fourth. Yeah.
right.
And then B and E,
Perfect fourth.
perfect fourth. E and A, perfect.
Yep.
A and D.
Yep.
That's great. So, okay, so just to recap here, the first one is this,
Yep.
and then we just move that up. And then the third voicing is,
Yep.
okay. We practice voicings like this all the time over at Open Studio. Go to happypracticing.com or click the link below to start your free trial. That's happypracticing.com to level up your piano game. Back to the video.
And so what you're going to want to start hearing, like these kind of advanced, I mean, they're kind of intermediate, I would say, actually. Whenever you're ready for these, you can start diving into them because there's a lot of applications they get, that we're going to get into. They can get super advanced, but the basic foundation of it is approachable for a lot of folks, right? But what the key to this is starting to hear the melodic movement. Don't just get stuck in the vertical, the harmonic.
Now, hold on. We're playing chords. What do you mean by the melodic
What's it?
movement?
Da, da, da,
Oh, the top voice of the chord. Okay.
Exactly.
I got you.
Exactly. Because that's what's going to guide you in your movement. And if you want to be a great comper like McCoy Tyner, like a Herbie Hancock, like a Keith Jarrett. Ever heard of these guys? Chick Corea, ever heard of him?
I have, yes.
You've got to think melodically, right? And that's where the fun's going to come in.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, what's our next chord?
So talk about melodic. Now we're skipping notes. So the first two, do, do, da, we skipped. And now we're skipping up a minor third to F on top. And then we're cascading down all perfect fourths.
So got A on the bottom, and then it's just A from the bottom up. A, D, G, C, F.
Yeah. That's how you start hearing perfect fourths, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because remember the last one was all fourths, but it had that tritone in there, that augmented fourth.
And these are all voicings you would play over a D minor, right? These are all D minor chords, right?
All D
to
minor.
start, like we're thinking about this.
But they work on a bunch of chords.
This is D minor. This is D minor.
Yep.
Even though there's no D. Well, no, there is a D in here. Right? Is that right?
Yep. Yep.
I can already see that if you're just like for the melodic thing. Like,
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
And like keep going. G7. Back
it's
to
a
D
G7.
minor.
So that's another chord you could use these voicings over.
Yeah.
Is G7.
Okay, so we have one more chord, right? Five chords.
Can I guess what it is?
Please.
Okay, so I'm going to guess G on top.
Yep.
There've been a lot of fourths, so I'm going to say fourths down. Maybe, is it like, no, it's not that.
All perfect fourths.
All perfect fourths.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so just a whole step up from where we just were.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
And like the symmetry of this, and then look, this is not to confuse you guys. This is like, if you don't get this now, that's fine. You do this kind of later on. This is about starting to feel them, to hear them, to play them. But the symmetry of these 5 chords and the 5 notes in them, the first 2 are a whole step apart, right?
Yeah.
That's the same shape.
And then it's like you got this middle one.
You got this middle one, which is like the pivot point, right?
Yeah.
All fourths, but you've got that tritone, the augmented fourth. And look, tritone, augmented fourth, diminished fifth, they're all the same thing. Don't let any other theory nerds besides us confuse you on that for the purposes of this. But then you've got these 2 perfect fourths.
Only let us confuse you.
Yes, yeah. You got these 2. So think about it like this. You got those 2, and you got those 2.
That's right.
And then you've got this pivot in the middle. And that's the great thing about 5. Think about a seesaw, this is your
That's right.
Your tritone and then perfect fourths in the middle. And then
That's
you can
so
go either
cool.
way.
Yeah, because you've got these 2 voicings that are the exact same voicing. They're just literally like a step up.
Yep.
And then you've got these 2 voicings that are the exact same voicings. They're just a step up. And they're... What's cool about this too is it's like... You have your like the 5th of D minor on top.
Yep.
To the 6th, and then you've got the 3rd to the 4th, right? So you have this like kind of melodic sensibility there. And the one in the middle has the root at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
Here's the genius part of this, and I don't mean to call you a genius, but
please,
I would never. But because you have these the same voicing, just a whole step up. What does that mean? That means that you have that.
You got something in between to like almost like a little micro pivot,
like a half step in between, a little approach.
Yeah, because you're approaching, you can approach from above or below. So it's or.
Oh yeah.
Or you can use it as a bridge, right? And the same down here. And then, so, okay, that's the fun part. Here's the challenge for you guys. This is how you're going to start living a musical life in your practice session. Is you like this stuff? How many different versions of this do we have, Mr. Maness?
12.
One way to think about this too is as you're taking these through all 12 keys, and look, if you did one a day, it's great. Maybe you're doing one every 2 days. That's great too. You'll get through these, right? But the idea is to like kind of learn them deeply, but also to be willing to move on, I think is important, even if you haven't mastered it, right?
I would say as far as like, yes, being willing to move on, even if you haven't mastered it is key, because why? We're living a musical life. There's no finish line to this. We keep coming back to the same stuff over and over again.
Isn't the 12th key the finish line?
It's not the finish line because
right.
you're going to forget it eventually.
Right.
But I would say to start with, just think about like if you're on this level where you're kind of learning some modal tunes, like you're learning so what, impressions, resolution, footprints, exactly, like things that have or my favorite things, just like a lot of E minor, a lot of D minor, a lot of G minor, C minor, A minor. Think about those keys first that are going to be useful to you. You know what I mean? Like from tunes that you're working on.
That you can apply then.
Yeah, totally. Focus on tunes that you can use. And I was just thinking about what you said in the middle of this lesson where you were talking about how this D minor, you can also use over a G7. So like that makes me think like if we're doing something like Passion Dance, right?
Yeah.
So Passion Dance is McCoy Tyner's Passion Dance, which these would fit perfectly in that style.
These chords.
Is just on an F7, right? Which means that we would use what, the C minor?
Yeah.
Right? So we got C minor.
Right, because we went from D minor, worked up a perfect fourth to G7.
So F7,
C minor
down a perfect fourth would be C minor.
Exactly.
So that means we have this voicing, right?
Yep.
this.
Yeah.
La, la, and then back. So if you wanted to practice like Passion Dance with just F7, can we try that real quick? Can I practice that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Amazing. You know what I just kind of discovered haphazardly going through there is if you want to take this out, like you're on F7, you can do the same pattern up a tritone.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a G flat minor. So again, so we're going. You want to take it out on C minor 7, do like the tritone away, G flat minor 7.
I never thought about that, but that works great.
Happy accident there. Wait, what?
Yep. See how he's doing? He's hearing that melody, letting it cascade down. Yep. So that's sort of taking it, off of your idea of taking the same pattern to an unrelated place, the tritone,
the
minor third, the flatted 6, whatever.
As a way to take it outside of the chord changes, so it's not like the right quote unquote chord.
Right, and that's what really is like. The melodic stuff is based around that's based upon, and then instead of going to there, I'm moving up whole step instead of diatonically.
Oh.
And then chromatically. A lot of different places you can go, and that's kind of more like woo, going crazy. But it's based upon like these two, and then
Damn.
I mean, these are the straight patterns that we learn: 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then you've got that grounding in the middle. Yeah, and I like when you were kept going with it. That's a great idea. It's never ending. It's like like our practice.
Man, so much to get out of these 5 chords. It's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. And they're really good voicings too. I know we started improvising.
I say this is what we talk about here at Open Studio all the time about this kind of stuff, Peter, is like, man, if this stuff isn't just like a foot wide but a mile deep. We literally have 5 voicings that work over one kind of chord.
Yeah.
Except it's not one kind of chord. It's like at least 2 or 3 different kinds of chords. And then you start taking it through keys, and then you start thinking about how can I take it outside of the changes? And then you start thinking about how can I make melodies out of this, like you were just demonstrating?
Yeah.
Man, it's that alone is so much great work. So when I think about what do I practice? It's man, there's
what
so
don't
much.
you practice?
But this is a problem for a lot of people, is just I feel overwhelmed. There's so much to practice. And sometimes it's just staying focused, saying I'm just gonna work on these 5 chords in the different ways for the next couple weeks, right? Don't feel like you're leaving things behind when if you decide to do that. If you get motivated to get focused off of what Peter's teaching today, just focus on that for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
All the other stuff will come back to you. It'll all be here when you're ready to come back to it. I think that's honestly a misnomer for a lot of people. They're I gotta have the perfect practice routine that touches on all these things all the time. It's sometimes we get curious, and sometimes we just want to spend some time rolling around in the mud of some of this stuff and feeling it. And by the way,
that's
you can
nice mud, good soft
but you
mud.
can roll around for a year in this mud and not have it mastered in every key in every situation. And this is a lifetime of work that a lot of artists are going through. So don't feel it's I got to have this mastered before I move on. Just no, now you're going to get interested in something else, maybe something Adam talks about. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you go spend time doing that.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the legacy of McCoy Tyner, right?
Hey.
That he's given us. So
Cool.
Till next time, happy practicing.